Alright, let's see how well this one goes. At least with the last one, I picked up enough gold that I now have quite a bit to start the next one with. I picked up an upgrade at some point that makes it so that 1/4 of my gold from the previous run carries over to the next. I think that occurred in a run that I decided to cut. I also have the random starting bow and shield. So this could be useful. I've seen some other people make use of this in some of the playthroughs I've been watching. And basically when you properly block an enemy's attack, you actually knock a gold tooth away from them. Which you can then, well, which then counts as like 50 gold. And I feel like that's probably going to be useful early on just for acquiring a little bit more money. And having an active reason to block all the time will also be good for giving me practice with blocking, since I've been pretty bad about doing that in general. Oh, I actually have to hit them with the shockwave. Yeah, I just handled that terribly. Let's see, electric whip. I'm gonna stick with the starting sword. It's a surprisingly good weapon considering, you know, it's the starting sword. Better than the electrical whip in my opinion, actually, as much as I like it. I deal with the green goblin first. Just that leap of theirs is so dangerous. They're a primary target to take out. Even later on in later areas when there are other dangerous enemies, they're still a pretty big threat. Surprising given that they're the first enemy you encounter. You know, one thing I just realized, I have yet to unlock the ability to use the sarcophagi that you occasionally come across. I didn't get it from the first boss either. It feels like I should have that by now. I guess maybe I could have and I just missed it. I might need to do a specific sort of progression through the areas to pick it up, I'm not sure. You know what? Let's try something a little bit different. Let's swap out my primary melee weapon for a ranged weapon. Now, generally it's not an especially good idea, but this thing has infinite ammo, so let's see how it goes. I'm curious. I mean, at least at the moment, the damage ain't too bad. 2/3 shots these basic enemies, which works. Yeah, honestly, bows are surprisingly powerful. I do know that from my time with the infantry bow, but I've never really mained one. Hey, that's an instance where the shield is really useful. Very useful for dealing with the shield enemies, in fact. So, last run I had as much success as I did because of my skills, so I'm honestly tempted to focus on skill upgrades, because getting more damage and quicker cooldowns would probably... I feel like that's the quickest way to a powerful build. Just because the skills seem, at the moment at least, a lot better than your primary forms of attack. I'm sure that'll get patched at some point, but for the moment that seems worthwhile. I do really want to get health early on just to get that extra little bit of tankiness, but honestly, most of the times where I've died, it's been just getting a bunch of hits at once, and that's where that extra health doesn't really come in handy. So yeah, let's go with the skill boost. Hopefully I'll collect some good skills soon, so I can actually make use of that. Okay, I think I said it was like 50 gold, it's only 20 from the gold tooths. Still, I'll take it. Let's see, secret area. I'm gonna wait to do that, since it only seems like there's one challenge at the moment, and killing a bunch of enemies with a time limit without getting hit does not seem especially doable if my only form of offense is a bow and arrow. Oh hey, I asked for skills and I get Bite of Swarm immediately, I'll take that. Ooh, Ruby Amulet's also tempting, but yeah, gotta go with Bite of Swarm. Grenades could be useful as well. I'm assuming regular explosions don't cause burning, in which case that extra ability is not going to help. You know what, I'm just going to save my gold. And actually, now that I have a better form of offense with that skill, I might be able to do this challenge. Or at least I think I can give a fair attempt at it, so let's see how that goes. Yep, same challenge as always. That didn't go so well. I was about to say, this seems like a more platforming-oriented one rather than an action one, and Maybe it was, but I won't find out since I died immediately, or failed it immediately. Oh boy. Just gonna handle this slowly, because I really don't want to take any more damage. I do still have my healing flask, of course, but it doesn't hurt to play it safe. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't try and use a bow as my primary form of offense. At least not when it's as weak as this one. The infantry bow, given its 3 times damage bonus at close range, might actually be doable. Oh dear. Do I actually get rally with the bow? I do, interesting. So it's any form of primary attack, but yeah, I'm gonna need a drink if I don't want to risk dying. Interesting that it wasn't hitting when I was right up close. Fortunately, that only seems to occur with the runes and not with the actual enemies. Yeah, I think as soon as I get another weapon, I'm gonna trade in this bow. This wasn't all that good of an idea. I'm having trouble here in the first area with the very basic weak enemies. So that's not a good sign for trying out this sort of thing. It's just a whim on my part, and a pretty poor one as it turns out. Hey, freeze grenades, I'll take them. That's pretty useful in combination with my biter swarm, which I really should be using more often, I realize. I think I've already lost out on the hourglass doors, so let's try and thoroughly explore this place. I think I'd rather head to the sewers next, rather than the promenade. And plus, there are upgrades, such as more health. Although then again, maybe heading along the promenade would be better. Maybe that's where the sarcophagus upgrade is. It's hard to tell. Alright, so... do I do the sewers, or... do I do the promenade? You know what? I'm changing my mind as I often do. Let's do the promenade. I had plenty to do with the sewers last time, and I'm looking for something a little bit different. Even if it's not necessarily new. Plus, it's a pretty area. 18 cells. I've been putting towards this healing flask upgrade, but... let me actually see what's locking these things. So, I need the previous tier. So... I was actually wondering in my mind, I never voiced it out loud, why are there upgrades for random starting bow and shield but not the melee weapon? And it's simply that I hadn't unlocked that. I need to unlock enough weapons from blueprints for that to unlock, so let's do that. Although, do I actually have anything that's, do damage upgrades count, or do I have to unlock fresh weapons? I'm assuming I have to unlock fresh weapons, and damage upgrades don't count. In which case... okay, so shields and ranged weapons also count as weapons for this. That's a damage upgrade. Yeah, I already invested a little bit in the assault shield. So let's unlock it. And now I'll be going for this post-haste, because having some weapon other than the pretty okay but not especially great starting sword would be really nice. 70 more cells. That's going to take a few runs to acquire. Enemies hit explode upon death. That could be useful. So this charges you forward like those shield dudes. I wonder if that damages them even if they're not attacking. I'll have to find out. God, I still really need a decent weapon though. Oh boy, hopefully I find one soon. I don't think I'm likely to survive much longer if I keep sticking with this bow. Okay, it does do damage. I am not good at using it, however. Oh god, and they're both teleporting towards me. Yeah, this was a bad idea. I'm just gonna rely on my minions, who I keep forgetting I have for some reason. Why do I keep running into that issue? Yeah, if I actually make use of my freeze and my minions, it's a lot easier. Oh yeah, go my little children. Massacre all the bad guys for me. Seriously, I really need to get rid of this bow. It is hot trash. Ooh, new blueprint. Phaser. That immediately intrigues me just from its name alone. Hopefully I survive long enough to unlock it. Oh dear, nope, just getting out of there. My children can deal with them. Oh yeah, having a bow is especially bad. It's difficult to hit a certain target if they're grouped together like that. I couldn't specifically gun for the turret. The scarecrow, I mean. Nope, no. Yeah, this bow was a bad choice. I need to use my healing flask already. Maybe I should avoid getting into unnecessary combat until I get a better weapon. That's a good idea, I think. I have enough gold, I should be able to purchase one, even if I come across it in a shop. Let's try heading into an underground area. Scroll of Power. Well, I have good skills, so let's keep boosting them. Oh god, not another scarecrow to deal with. I really don't want to deal with that for the reason you just saw. Wow, it was bad. I managed to rally back about half my health, so I'm not in too bad of a position. Oh boy. Honestly, ranged weapons, despite being, you know, made for flying enemies in video games, don't really work so well here. Oh, speaking of weapons, blood sword, I'll take that. That is a fantastic weapon. That combined with my freezing and my children and getting more blueprints, sure. Knife storm. That sounds cool. I'm guessing throwing multiple knives at once could be useful. Sounds like it would be good as a secondary arm. Oh yeah, this is a good combination. I don't see myself taking too much damage in the near future. I always jinx myself. You'd think I'd learn, but nope, I never do. Just deal with this dude before he ends up hurting me again. Nope, I tried to drop down, but the controls were kind of a little bit fiddly there. There we go. Probably should have froze them, then gone for the scarecrow, but it worked out anyway. More damage, I'll take that. It'll make my blood sword even bloodier. I'm assuming this is going to lead down to the sewers. It's a long enough stretch that I assume it's not going to end in a dead end, and it ends in a dead end. Ooh, 30% damage reduction. That's definitely worth 2,900. That will increase my survivability by tons. Alright, so this was a dead end, as I predicted it wouldn't be, but... Oh god, what is with all the scarecrows here? Nope, that one's high up enough I can't get to it from where I currently am. I'm just gonna have to leave the fly for now. I gotta take out that scarecrow. Those things are just so insanely deadly when combined with other enemies. Hopefully I'm near an exit. I really need to get to the break room to heal up. And yeah, as I theorized after my successful run last time, skills are absolutely the way to go. They're just so goddamn strong at the moment. Should try and play around with some other ones like the regular grenades that I've forgone in so many instances. Because they just do direct raw damage and I'm sure they're pretty good at it. Oh! Speak of the devil and she shall appear. Also gives me a health boost. I'm assuming +1 health means 1 health effective upgrade and not a single lone hit point. Because that wouldn't help very much. Oh, it's just... It does 3 times and a little over the damage of my ice grenade. But I really like the freezing. You know what? let's try and go with something different. After all, I'm not just playing this by myself, I'm recording it for YouTube, so I should try and go with new stuff just to add a little bit of novelty to things. Plus, it'll help me learn what's good and what isn't. Hopefully this is good so I can actually survive. I'm pretty sure I saw an exit down this way, so assuming I don't have too many platforming fails, I should be near the end. Bingo. Although, even though I took damage to come this way, I think I might exit because I kind of want to try out that other area that I died. That was a third stage, the Ramparts, I believe it was called. I never got to the end of there, and I'm thinking that maybe that's where the sarcophagus upgrade is. I should be near the other exit as well, I'm pretty sure. It's on the top side. Just gonna beeline straight for it. Yeah, it should be over here. I'm just gonna ignore that teleporting asshole. I crushed that flying enemy completely by accident, but hey, it worked out. I'm not complaining. Oh god, teleporting asshole and shield asshole. Well, at least I can get this guy to run out of the shield dude's range and take him out. Okay, that turned out much better than I thought it would. Just gonna ignore the rest of them. I don't want to do any unnecessary combat. And yeah, that's a strong grenade. I should try and lob it into a group of enemies without harming them first. Do I want to head that way? I'm just trying to think. Yeah, no, I think I do. I just don't want to end up accidentally fighting an elite enemy. But I think that part, like the elite enemy you fought that's around here that you get the first upgrade from is just completely removed. You don't even get the option to fight them for like some extra gear or something at this point. So, here are the Ramparts. I haven't seen these since my first few runs of the game, the first video I did, so I'm excited to be back. Knife Storm launches a storm of knives around you. Okay, I was assuming you would throw multiple directly in front of you, but instead it's more of an AoE thing. Still, that would be a pretty useful defensive skill, and probably always good for dealing with, like, flying enemies. Any type of weak enemy that swarms around you. What about Phaser? It's a skill. You teleport behind a nearby enemy, the damage of your next attack is increased by 150%. Ooh, that could be useful. I'm one cell away from being able to unlock it right here, right now. Do I forgo going for the random melee weapon upgrade? I'm intrigued enough that, you know what? I'm gonna put 29 cells in it right now, and I may or may not upgrade it, unlock it in the near future. I might save it for a run that, say, maybe I get a far ways into and I'm feeling confident that I might be able to, like, seriously make it to, like, the end of the game or something, and unlock it then to make the most use out of it. Although, that wouldn't exactly be the most helpful since I wouldn't be used to using it, so maybe that's not such a good idea. I don't know, I'll see. But for now, I'll leave that option open. Alright. The Ramparts again. And I've said this sentiment many times, but just the sheer visual variety among all the stages so far. That's one thing that's never let up, and I haven't even encountered all the stages. I've only seen like a little over half. And of course, the full amount of stages that there are now plans to be doubled by the full release of the game. Yeah, I'm already missing my freeze grenades. The damage of the regular grenade is nice, but just the added utility of the freeze I think was a lot more useful. That's fine though, you live and you learn, unless you get attacked by asshole mages. Remember kids, if a mage ain't being an asshole, then they ain't a mage. You know, I just realized that one amulet I picked up in an earlier run that gave me a triple jump, That would actually be pretty good for letting me do this more powerful ground pound on command, the one that does more damage and stuns, since presumably I could do so from a height of 3 jumps. So that amulet is actually probably more useful than I initially thought it was. I'll have to try that out next time I acquire that. Seriously, that is such a useful ability. Especially if you don't have the ability to arrest the enemy's movement via some other way, like ice or stun grenades. Yeah, not getting hourglass doors this run. There's a treasure chest over there, though. I'd like to unlock that. I think I'll have to backtrack a little bit, but that's fine. It could hold a weapon upgrade. I'm really hoping to pick up the rapier again. That thing was absolutely insane. I'm pretty sure the only reason I did as well in my first attempt against the boss as I did was because I had the rapier. Oh, you know another great thing about my little buddies here? When they attack an enemy, they also stun it and prevent it from attacking me. Not to as inefficient a degree as the freeze or stun grenades, but still pretty good considering it's not their primary function. Hey! A secret area in a stage other than the first. Let me just head down to this chest first, though. Want to pick up whatever that item is. Something good, come on. Ooh, stun grenades. And it fires a volley of arrows. And enemies hit explode upon death, which means it actually ends up doing a decent amount of damage when used in crowds. Yeah, I'll definitely be replacing my regular grenades. So what does that mean by a volley of... That's what it means by a volley of arrows. That seems incredibly good. Glad I picked that up. Assuming this challenge is the same as the previous one, it will probably help me complete it. Yep, same challenge as always. Longer time limit, though. Alright, well that's one group of enemies dealt with. I do need to be speedy, but I'm gonna wait for them to pass by. I don't want to jeopardize my chances. Yep, and that's more of them dealt with. That is one downside to just having a whole bunch of shit on the screen at once like my little minions. It becomes a little bit harder to see what the enemies are actually doing, and I did not notice that that one was getting ready to leap. Alright, time to use my healing flask. I'm never gonna complete those secret challenges, am I? At least not until I get way better at the game than I currently am. Okay, this mage is annoying to get up to. There we go. Alright, well, so much for that healing flask. I'm already down to nothing. Well, not nothing, but close enough. One good hit and I'm dead. So hopefully I won't get hit. Ooh, that is just this pure skill upgrade. Nice, I'll take that. Oh, come on, how did that stun nothing? I guess it doesn't have as large of a radius as I thought it did. Oh dear, no, 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 no! I gotta take care of... I have to take care of that wizard. How do I get to that wizard? I gotta get up to the switch. I cannot believe I survived that, holy shit. No! I was so close. You know what screwed me over there? I would have been able to double jump over that arrow if it weren't for that little overhang that was there because I was standing in the doorway. That reduced my overall jump height, resulting in me getting hit by the arrow. If I had been just a little bit further to the left or the right, or if I had chosen to roll, I would have survived. But that's what happens in these sorts of hectic, frantic hack-and-slash games. It's all about the on-the-fly decisions, and if you make a wrong one, you're probably gonna eat shit and die, as I did there. Nothing but failure for these past few runs, but then again, this game seems to be the kind designed for it. It's, I've said before that it's a lot like Rogue Legacy, and a lot of other people have echoed that sentiment. And that is another way in which it's like it, in that, for the most part, you don't make hard progress in most of your runs. Or rather, it's not the hard progress of the sort that you see in most games where you get to new areas, or beat bosses or things like that. The progress you make are those permanent upgrades. That's your main form of progress. Taking down a boss is a rare occasion, as opposed to something like Binding of Isaac, where it's taking down bosses that's the accomplishment. Because, like, yeah, in Rogue Legacy, you're probably gonna die a lot. Like, at most, you can maybe beat, like, one boss with a starting character, but then you'll die shortly thereafter simply because you don't have the strength. I mean, granted, people have done one character runs, but that's sort of an absurd challenge thing. It's just that part of the design of that game and this one is that a lot of runs will ultimately end in your death, but if you unlocked anything, if you get any amount of cells and invested that in new items, then it was a worthy run. Still though, I had wished I had made it a little bit further. I'm curious to see if there would be any new areas beyond the Ramparts, or if the Ramparts did indeed hold that sarcophagus interactive item as I thought they might. Well, I'll have to find out next time.